Club record second wicket stand between Leaning and Cox sets up innings victory in Canterbury. With 35 overs of their 120 first innings overs left to bat, Kent had already eclipsed their host's total for the loss of just one wicket. Young Jordan Cox had been mightily impressive alongside summer recruit Jack Leaning, and with centuries already sealed for the openers, attention turned to ruling the defeat out with quick runs early on day 3. The partnership picked up where they had left off. Boundaries began to flow soon after the pair had found their feet on their return to the crease. Try as they might, Sussex couldn't dislodge either man. They traded shots, fine leg a fruitful avenue for both of them. But the moment of the innings, and potentially the game, came midway through the 108th over. Garton's delivery was full and outside off. Cox's push into the covers was confident, and the running between the wickets was sharp and quick, enough to take the 19-year-old through to his maiden 200 in just his 5th first-class match. Importantly though, Cox kept his concentration. A momentous occasion for the young man had been marked, and he was immediately back into his work. The next target, 500 team runs. Jack Leaning joined his young colleague. His own 200 was celebrated with just as much passion and vigour as the teenager at the other end. The score at lunch, with 5 overs remaining in the innings, was 503 for 1. Cox and Leaning's partnership was now the most valuable second wicket pairing in Kent's history at 396. Normal service resumed at the restart. While the boundaries dried up, aggressive running from both men saw the total tick up to a huge 530 for 1 off Kent's full allocation of 120 first innings overs. Sussex had a real task on their hands, and the job became all the more complicated when Phil Salt was removed 4 balls in. Leaning followed up his batting heroics with a sensational catch in the slips. Harry Finch and Tom Haynes stuck together for a period, steadying the ship and finding time to play some attacking shots. Haynes had a warning, dropped in the slips off the bowling of Stevens, but he couldn't protect his wicket. In Stevens' next over, the partnership was broken, with just 35 runs on the board. Haynes out LBW. Tom Clark could only manage 5 Darren Stevens deliveries before he too fell to the Kent veteran, caught behind for a duck. Finch 4s saw Sussex pass 50 runs, but they'd be on the back foot before long. Darren Stevens had his 3rd of the innings when Ben Brown was given out LBW, his wicket marking T, with Sussex all at sea at 59 for 4. Delray Rawlins announced his arrival by lifting Stevens into the onside for 6. Where around him teammates fell, Finch had remained, and was rewarded with a 50, a single off Stevens enough to reach the milestone. At the other end, Rawlins' innings was aggressive but brief. Stevens was having none of it. He pitched one up to the talented Sussex all-rounder and bowled him between bat and pad. It wouldn't be long before the Kent stalwart had yet another fifer. A good-length delivery moved away from the left-handed Garton and pinned his off-stump back with the score still under 100. Podmore joined in the fun. Jack Carson was only able to edge one to Sam Billings, who was fielding at the edge of a long line of slips. His next wicket was the big one. Finch looked to play through the covers, but he couldn't keep it down. Sam Billings once again the man to take the catch. Sussex were 9 down in the next over. Tim Groenewald struck a Henry Crocombe edge through to Robinson, enough to leave Kent on the verge of victory. But with 1 wicket needed, Sussex freed their arms. The last wicket partnership of Meeker and Claydon frustrated the bowlers. Claydon played 1 too many big shots and could only sky Marcus O'Riordan for a simple catch to Robinson to seal a famous win for Kent, the margin of victory an innings and 25 runs. Jordan Cox and Jack Leaning's partnership broke the Kent record for a second wicket stand, both men carrying their bat and picking up double centuries in the process. Sussex will be disappointed with the way in which they capitulated with bat in hand, but there will also be concerns over how difficult it was for them to make inroads without Ollie Robinson in the attack.